Alright, welcome back to Jedi Jive, everyone. My name is Mike, and today we're going to watch the series finale of Star Wars Resistance. This one's called The Escape. This is the last episode. We have not seen Kylo Ren at all, and I know there was a tease of him in a trailer, so I'm going to go ahead and say Kylo Ren appears in this episode. And if he doesn't, I'll be shocked, because why else would they tease him like that? But I'm going to go ahead and assume that this is going to deal mostly with them getting Tam back. It's a kid's show, so I can't imagine this is going to end with people dying and Tam still being in the First Order. I'm assuming Tam's coming back to the good side. How that happens at this point, because she's been conflicted for the entire season, I'm not sure. I'm hoping it's not something like Yeager sacrifices himself to save her, and then she realizes that, they were her friends all along and the First Order isn't. But if anybody's going to die, it's probably going to be Commander Pyre and Agent Tierney and hopefully Ruckland, but we'll see. Like I said, it's a kid's show and they don't really usually kill people, but they raised the stakes a little bit in the last episode and some people died. So let's see what happens.
Finally, a little downtime. I don't know why they're having us work so much.
Let's just say there are pockets of resistance all over this system. I think we just arrived.
So yeah, that was a pretty fun finale. I think I've slowly over the course of the season come to terms with the fact that, I personally was let down a little bit because I came in with expectations, thinking about Clone Wars and Rebels and kind of assuming that there would be sort of an overall storyline that would kind of tie into the larger story that we're used to. And we didn't really end up getting that. And, I guess that's my fault for coming to expect that. But if you really just watch this show with, keeping in mind that it's for kids and that it's just some fun visuals and you get to live in the Star Wars universe, it's a perfectly respectable show that's enjoyable in its own way. And if I'm trying to, judge it with that ruler of comparing it to Clone Wars or comparing it to Rebels and being like, why doesn't it have, the Force and more mention of the Jedi? Really, I'm pretty sure that one episode with Mika Gray was the only time that we ever really mentioned the Force and the Jedi. I know Viniza Doza just said, may the Force be with you. And I'm thinking, well, at this point, does Kaz even know what the Force is? But all in all, I don't want to just look back at this and be like, oh, I was disappointed and it didn't live up to my expectations, because I realize I need to kind of judge this show with the proper ruler. Like I'm saying, you need to take into account what they were trying to do with this show, and it's less of a they're not trying to go heavy and deep and make us think. They're just trying to have a little bit of fun. And you can get that out of this show. The ace pilots, the ship designs were really cool. There's some really cool characters in there, and obviously all the familiar species that we have come to love. So if you come into the show and you just kind of aren't expecting anything and you just want to just enjoy some Star Wars universe for a little while, you can get it here. But you're not going to get an overall overarching story that's going to really tie into everything, and if you're looking for that kind of satisfaction. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna recommend Clone Wars to people. I'm gonna recommend Rebels. I'm not gonna recommend this unless it's someone who's just trying to brush up on all Star Wars content and get a little bit of everything. So that's, in the end of the day, that's why I watched this. I wanted to make sure that I am up to date on everything and that I am taking it all in and giving it a fair shake. Yeah, for most of the season, I've been giving Tam a pretty hard time, just saying she's not likable. They didn't make her likable. They just make her seem like she has really bad judgment. But they did make a point to show how heavily she regretted everything, and she really kind of owned up to everything at the end here and really apologized to everybody. So I guess at the end of the day, you can't really blame her. And it's interesting because it does go to show that in this universe, really good guys, bad guys, there is sort of a gray area in between where they make a point to show that the First Order or the Empire or anything in that along those lines does go a long way to keeping order in the galaxy. It may be an oppressive order and it may be tyrannical, but it's order nonetheless, because we do know that without the First Order or without the Empire, in The Mandalorian, for instance, the galaxy descends into chaos. So it's not that the First Order is good, but it's that you can understand how somebody like Tam or Ruckland would end up going that way and thinking that those people have the right intentions or whatever. But obviously once you see them killing innocent people, then that's when you see people start to have a change of heart. They never showed what happened to Rucklin, so we're just assuming he blew up on that Star Destroyer, I guess. So Rucklin, Tierney, and Pyre all died, right? Cool, I guess. Although it didn't really show what happened to him, so, I mean, who cares, right? But all in all, it was enjoyable, and I'm not sure I'm going to end up watching it again ever. Maybe when my son is a few more years. He's only like 2 years old, so maybe when he gets a little bit older and I'm showing him the rest of Star Wars content, I'll share this with him, and, maybe he'll enjoy it. But other than that, I'm probably just going to recommend Clone Wars to people. I mean, because that, to me, has a lot of rewatchability. This, not so much. But I am glad I watched it, and I hope everyone else enjoyed it. So if you guys enjoyed this season finale and you kind of got what you hoped you were going to get, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.